Hey guys, it's Bo Might Know, and
My name is Peter Raymundo.
we're here live at SuperCon, and we're going to be doing a Q&A, and also, what are you going to be doing, Peter?
Well, I'll do a drawing because I was a character animator, for Disney, and so being that Stitch, I was an animator on Lilo and Stitch as well. But I'll draw a picture of Stitch as best I can here, just
Okay.
like his head. It might take a little bit because we're talking and stuff, but
All right.
I'll kind of do that.
And what got you into doing that?
The animation, well, believe it or not, it was actually, it goes way back, but it was like 1989. I saw on the Wide World of Disney behind the scenes of the making of The Little Mermaid. And
Okay.
it just totally changed my whole life. I just knew then, like it's like a light bulb went off.
Was there something animation-wise that you wanted to get into? Was there like a...
No, actually at that time, no. I just knew I wanted to be, I loved the movies.
Okay.
And I love Disney movies. I loved, like Pinocchio was probably my favorite. But Peter Pan, I just loved, they're the best, I thought they were the best movies, period.
Okay.
And so when I kind of grew to realize that's like something people can do, like that's a career, I didn't know like what animator or background, I didn't really know. All I knew is I wanted to be a part of that.
Okay, so that was the passion, just being a part of animation and
Disney animation. Yeah,
okay,
not
Disney
just anything,
animation.
yeah.
Now, as far as like, did you have like a character, like already made up? Like, so you said that you primarily
No. So
worked on
I see.
Stitch?
Yeah, I see where you're going with that. So no.
Okay.
When I to get hired back then, like it all has to do with your drawing ability.
Okay.
And so like and you start at the bottom of that rung. It's a high rung, but it's still the bottom of that rung, of that ladder. And so Lilo and Stitch, that was probably like my fourth movie at that point. So I was signed to a character usually, and I was on Lilo predominantly. I did work on other characters. In fact, I worked on Nani for almost a year as well. But on the credits, I come under Lilo. But any character, like from like my position, like I myself, like there's a whole hierarchy, a whole workflow. There's directors, producers, directors, writers, storyboard artists, background artists, layout artists, character designers, supervising animators, the rough animators, cleanup animators. Right. So I was in cleanup animation, where like the drawings you see on the screen, those are like my drawings, right? So my main skill was, I was good at animating, but my primary skill is being able to draw the characters exactly correct.
What would you say is the hardest part about what you do?
Well, for animation, it was just the sheer amount.
The sheer amount. Okay,
Yeah,
so it's a mass amount.
It's a lot, yeah. And but the quality is always like A-list quality, like every single drawing. Not
I
like,
can imagine working with Disney.
Yeah, no, it's not sometimes, it's all the time, And so, and the people you're working with are like the best in the whole world, And so, but everyone's so passionate. You're working on these movies that are, are going to be legendary, at least back then. And so, that's the only thing that was hard. But when we say hard, it's only hard because everyone at that level, you hold yourself to such a high standard. Like Disney even cannot hold you to a higher standard than you hold yourself. It's just everybody wants to achieve greatness, at that point. And that's why Disney was great.
So I'm pretty sure that work atmosphere was amazing to go to.
Oh yeah, no, yes. You can't at that point in time. There was I can't. I don't know how much I can like say people's names, but like one of the head people.
Okay.
We were having a big meeting, a whole studio, and this is way back. And somebody asked a question once: are we going to do? This is before Disney bought Lucasfilm, but like someone asked, are we going to do a space movie to jump on the Star Wars bandwagon? And then one of these head people said, excuse me? He started saying, because I heard your question. He goes, let me make something clear. We're the bandwagon. He goes, like, we don't follow anybody. This is Disney animation.
We are the standard.
We're the standard. And that's why every person was there. That's why I was there. And at least at that point in time, that was the mindset. You expected the movie to be biggest movie come out that weekend, maybe biggest movie of the year, and win Academy Awards. And then to be heralded for decades. That was the mindset.
Do you have a memory that when you're doing so many pieces, do you have a memory that you always go back to that keeps you going?
Well, yeah, you know what the memory is a combination of things. One of them is before I'd made it. Mm-hmm. I was chosen, like not just me, but everyone that made it there. It's like you're like top 10. They only hire like 10, 11 people a year, and out of like 40, 50,000 people. I mean, and it's like, I remember just dreaming, could that be my thing? And when I went to college, it was the gig to get, and it's incredibly rare. It's like that was a 1 in a million shot. Maybe people just even gave up because it was like it's almost impossible. But I will never forget the time before that. The time when I remember looking at The Lion King when it came out, and there's a little mouse, and then when Scar was going to eat the mouse, and I remember thinking, what it would be like just to do a little piece of the mouse, anything. Or like seeing the names and the credits and be like, what's that like? What is that like? Or seeing footage of the studio and be like, those big wooden desks. Like I would do anything to like, wow, what's it like to even sit in one of those desks? And now, I mean, I worked on, I have my name on 9 movies, but I'll never forget before that time. So you're saying my memory is just thankfulness, every day being thankful that it's like, that I lived my dream. I mean, that was my primary career goal in life, was to be a Disney animator, and I did it.
That's amazing. Hearing that you're just living your dream and continuing to, so to say, live your dream.
Yeah, very much so.
It's amazing. My dad always told me, you never work a day in your life if you're doing what you love.
Yeah, I agree.
And it seems like you never worked a day in your life because you did what you love.
You know what's funny is, on one hand, yes. I mean, I understand what I know. Yeah. I am familiar with your statement.
It's not to understate that you work very, very hard.
I'm a real, if anyone knows me, I mean, I'm a work machine. And like, I draw, I work. That's the only one thing I want to do. That's the only thing I want to do is work. I don't ever think of, oh, when can I take a break, or when do I take a vacation? Ask my wife. I don't want ever to take a vacation. All I want to do is always work 7 days a week, is just work on something. I also am a writer, illustrator, so I have my own book series, a multiple book series with Random House, and I have, I do a lot of these conventions. I teach even a little bit. I run a film club. I mean, in many ways, at this stage of the game, for me, like I said, I made it, man. I mean, that was my goal. I have 9 books published, right, on a big scale. I have a book series with Scholastic. My last 5 books were with Random House. I worked on 9 movies at Disney. I do freelance. I did 15 books I illustrated for Marvel. And it's like, artistically, I've already far exceeded anything I could have possibly set out to do. And my primary goal at this stage is pretty much to, as best I can, it's going to sound cheap to say give back, but influence people into understanding that success is also meant for them, not just somebody else. And it's just repetition and beating on your craft and having goals and never giving up until you achieve those goals. And I mean, that's my main thing, is to try to give the knowledge that I have and the mindset that I have to other people.
Okay. Now, speaking on your craft,
yeah, man.
When you usually start a piece, what is the first thing that you start?
I'll start drawing like this one right now. Okay, I guess I can see. So,
yeah.
Like anything, you don't always have to start with a circle, but in this case, I'm going to draw Stitch's head here, but it starts with a circle. But in general, it's a circle because everyone can draw it, right? And it's actually pretty, simple. Like, so I'm going to draw like his mouth open here. But I start real simple. I'm not worried about like fancy lines, or like, is it like right or wrong, right? I mean, I already know that it's going to be wrong, right? So I just kind of do something that's kind of loose, and I know I'm going to clean it up later on. There's like a center line here.
So the initial is loose, and then what the mindset is, you're going to clean it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now we're just doing.
I'm just getting down like something. I know it's kind of close, to what I'm trying to do, and like I'll go over like a Sharpie. So.
What are you using right now?
This is an ebony pencil. It's like a lead pencil, but it's kind of black.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
What is this like a? This is just a mat.
This is a playmat that people use for. It's almost like you can use for
like a mouse pad?
Like a mouse pad, yeah.
Okay.
But I think people use it for games like Lorcana and magic and those types of things. So these are the blank one, right? So people can draw on
Now,
it.
what is what is the, I would say, what is the weirdest thing that you've drawn on? That you would consider weird.
Well, nothing too weird, but I think that like people, at shows they kind of want me to draw on things, and so probably the one that memorable was like, I think it was like a frying pan or something like that. Yeah, and it was like they wanted me to kind of draw, and then like skateboards, things like
Okay,
that.
I can see a skateboard. A frying
Yeah.
pan? That's somebody bringing a frying
It was
pan
at
to a show.
MegaCon. Yeah, they were like, "Can you draw this thing?" But it was like they're gonna hang it up, like in their house.
So just hang up a frying
Yeah.
pan.
Okay, so you see that this drawing here, it's pretty loose. You can see what's going on here already, but I can. So with the ears, you want them to kind of start in the same spot. You do this kind of. It's like an S curve.
This loose drawing is
Yeah.
still absolutely almost is a masterpiece already.
Thank you, man. So I can't say enough though. I did not design Stitch, right? Chris Sanders and probably I think Byron they'll design him. So I'm really good at drawing the designs. The fact that I'm drawing someone else's good design makes me look better than I am, right? I'm just like good at doing like this thing, but
So you didn't originally design?
none at all.
Okay,
To
all
make
right.
that perfectly clear.
Okay.
Chris gets all credit for that.
Okay.
Chris and I guess Byron or Alex Cooper-Schmidt, the supervisors. I'm just drawing something that somebody else designed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, did you tweak it at all?
No, not at all.
Okay,
Not at
so
all.
you just took
but
it
on
and
the
were like,
scenes, I mean, you're drawing your own drawings on the scenes, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like if you have 20 people working on Lilo, I'm not working on Peter Raymundo's Lilo. I'm working on Lilo, and every other man, Lilo is Lilo, Stitch is Stitch, right? And there's a character Bible, but the way they look, the way the hair moves, the way the frame movement, it's all like figured out, so it's consistent throughout the whole movie.
Now, would you say like the movement, like how to get a character is like the move? Do you think that would be more difficult than just a still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was one of the big levelers of 2D animation was you had to not only understand animation and the illusion of life, the illusion of movement, and there's a lot of squash and stretch, like that kind of stuff. But not only that, but you had to be able to draw it, right? I mean, you have to be able to draw like this, let alone move this thing. So it's like CG, like Frozen, like those types of movies. It's like you don't really have to really technically know how to draw or else stuff like that because it's in the computer and there's a super skilled people, but like it's a little bit you're more moving the puppet around in the computer than you are drawing each frame.
What was the hardest part for you in your craft to kind of hammer down? What took you the most time?
Initially, it's just seeing the movement.
Okay.
Right, and seeing like what they for like the arcs and stuff. That's kind of tricky.
Now, do they have like is there like a figure, like a stick figure or something that kind of guides you, like a blueprint?
Yes, kind of. So I was in cleanup animation, right? So there's two very important parts. The rough animation, generally in Disney, DreamWorks and stuff, when you say like an animator, they're basically referring to rough animation. Okay. And then cleanup is like, it's the critical part of the animation process. But like all the real loose movement, someone's jumping around, like I don't come up with that. The rough animator comes up with that. Okay. To have make it look exactly like the person on top of those, that's what we do. So we say like a blueprint, yeah, it's the rough animation.
So it's actually two people working.
Two whole crews.
Two crews?
So okay. Like they'll be like in, like say like a Mulan, and every movie, every character, there's a rough crew, like that crew, and then there's a cleanup crew, for the same thing.
So normally, how many people do you work with in first Stitch?
Yeah, so Stitch had I was on the Lilo crew, but. Like Stitch, I mean, or maybe so rough would probably be between 5 and 10, I guess.
Okay, wow.
And then cleanup might between maybe 15 to 20 even, if it was really big. But like on like Mulan, I was on Ling and Chien Po, and I had a great little crew. They were my friends for life. But there was like 4 or 5 of us.
And is it difficult to work with a bigger crew or a smaller?
No, it's not any more or less hard.
No,
yeah,
okay.
No.
So that doesn't add any difficulty.
And I can say that the people at Disney they're as good as you can. You cannot get better in the world.
Okay, perfect.
So you trust everybody, and usually you like everybody too.
Okay, so an easy workplace, easy work atmosphere, so it makes what you're doing way better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
I'm gonna kind of keep you going. You can keep talking. I'm just gonna kind of clean this up. But you see how this is already actually relatively clean, But I'm just gonna kind of put some lines here, so you can just kind of.
So now you're working with the Sharpie.
Yeah. So I have Sharpie here, and normally I don't draw. I mean, on the mat I'm doing a Sharpie, but in animation you don't use a Sharpie. You're using like the pencils.
Pencils.
Yeah.
So that's your primary tool. Like
Actually,
if you were.
I will say that this. I turn my paper a lot, so it's unusual for me not to turn it. Like, you have a natural arc of your hand, and so it's kind of hard for me to go the other way like this.
Now, do you, I know a lot of people, they have like a method to their madness. Is there like a method to your madness?
Yeah, I mean, on some level, I draw from left to right, too, so that your hand doesn't smear the stuff that much.
Okay.
But then also I usually generally go, so little things like this, I kind of measuring make sure things are in the right height.
Now with animation, did you ever think about doing like anything, like, did you ever look at like tattooing and being like,
no,
I really want to do that?
No. Well, initially I loved comic books a lot.
Okay.
I mean, that was really one of the things that got me into just art in general. Again, it's hard to get the natural art.
I always look at like what you do, and I'm like, man, I wonder if they ever thought about, because I have so many tattoos, so I'm like, I wonder if they ever thought about doing tattoos.
Probably some people do, but I think, like some kind of art, just like doing comic books, some people or comics even, are just naturally, that's what it just appeals to them right off the bat. But like doing a tattoo, that never appealed to me.
Is that on the horizon for like comics? Is that something that you would want to get into?
Not like comic books, because I don't feel like I draw like that kind of way. I think that it might seem like it's easy to do, or very similar to what I do. It is kind of similar, but it's different enough, or it'd be difficult for me.
Okay.
I mean, this is gonna sound like like there's no way you mean that, but I don't really feel like I can draw very well.
Comic book style.
Comic book style.
Yeah.
Like I'm good enough at drawing.
As he's saying this is it's already looks like a masterpiece. So.
Like, I mean, I feel like I'm good enough at drawing. I have to kind of move this mat.
No, go ahead. Do what you have to do.
Actually, I have to turn it this way. I won't be able to get that.
As we're doing the other ear right now, look at it. I always like looking at these. I know when people watch, like people draw, I'm one of those people that skips to the end to see the final product.
Yeah.
I like to see the start and then see the final product. But in person, it's so much more satisfying to see it go along.
Thank you.
Now, is that something that you admire, like how you started, and then you look at the final product, you're like,
yeah.
Wow.
I think that like watching when I teach people at all, I like them to see just how I do it, right? And it's like that there's even like no real one way, kind of. But
now, in regards to teaching, how is that going?
Okay, so I teach mainly younger kids.
Okay.
Like middle school type of kids. And I teach at this private school I live in Celebration, Florida.
Okay.
And so the school's in Celebration. It's a private school called Creation Kids Village. And I teach middle school. I'm only there like 2 hours a week. But I try to do my best where obviously I'm a little overqualified to be, teaching in a way, but I try to kind of break it down and I'm kind of a serious person in general, and so I take art very seriously, more seriously than most of the people. But I think that there are some kids that I've run into there. A lot of kids don't realize that, but I'm doing that because some of those kids, I might not do it if it wasn't for some of the kids.
Okay.
I believe in some of them so much that there's one or two I'm thinking of that I feel are at 6th, 7th, 8th grade or are beyond my own talent level when I was that age. And I'm like, if I could just give them some guidance, and I know the kind of life I've had just because of art. I mean, if I could give it without any real guidance, I mean, maybe I could really help their lives. And so that's kind of one of my things. I mean, like older kids, college level, I used to think, I'm more like we want to teach that age, but not really. I'm more interested in teaching like younger kids.
Younger kids to kind of guide them to.
Kinda, but not just artistically. To me, I can tell you about. I'm more interested in the psychology around believing in yourself. Anyone that's ever known me for very long, I have an unshakable faith in myself, basically. But I don't think you could get to do all that I've done as an artist, because there's no one way, right? I mean, it's not like get this degree and then you're going to become an artist, you know. And so you have to have a tremendous faith in yourself before anybody else believes in you, you know. And I kind of talk about that kind of thing all the time when I'm teaching. So this is kind of a bit. I like to do sometimes lines like this. And it sounds real simple. There's a really famous comic artist, very influential to me years. His name is Jim Lee. I don't know him at all, but I saw him doing his talk once, and he just did these lines of this Batman drawing he was doing. And I was like, wow, just adding a few lines, it just adds like a whole lot of like just depth to the drawing, you know. And so.
Is there anybody that is outside of Disney that you look at and you...
Yes. I would say, I mean, early on, this guy has passed away, but he was a very, very famous kind of fantasy artist. His name was Frank Frazetta. Very famous at the time. He did lots of different fantasy stuff, but Warriors and stuff like that.
Okay.
I loved comic books a lot when I was younger. Todd McFarlane, he was like, he's I don't know, he's pretty famous in the comic world.
Yeah.
Spawn, yeah. But I didn't know, when I first heard of Todd McFarlane, he was doing the Spider-Man.
Okay.
And that's like, when I was like, wow, this guy was, because I collected comic books a lot. And the way he drew Spider-Man, imagine Spider-Man's been around a long time, but he had this own the spaghetti webs and stuff. Actually, I work on a show. I work on these books. One of the great things I've done is there's a show called Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Yes. And so there's books of those episodes. And I don't know if I haven't done all of them, but at least 15 I've done the pencils for those books. So for Spider-Man, for Spidey. And so that was a great honor. And then you kind of basically use the spaghetti webs, but a simplified version of them. But Todd, I just so much, the guy, what he's done with Image and Spawn and just Spider-Man and just in the influence as an artist, to me, that guy helped redefine what an artist could do as a career and in business and in life. And so I've never met him. He was at MegaCon, and I was at my booth, though, so I didn't have time to go even see him or wait in line or go to the green room. And I just kind of, honestly, I would be intimidated even to meet the guy. He seems like super friendly, but I have so much respect for what he's done for me and for art and in my life. I remember when I was just in college and just telling my parents about there's this guy, like he draws Spider-Man so good, and just like, you know, anyway, So I'll look up to some artists that way.
Is there anybody outside of art that has influenced, like anything outside of art that's influenced you?
Wow, you know, this is going to sound abstract, but yes. I was in cycling for a long time.
Okay.
My great hero was Greg LeMond.
Okay.
And to this day, to me, Greg LeMond he's the greatest American cyclist ever. And Many people would say he's probably not the greatest cyclist ever, but he's multiple Tour de France winner, world champion. I raced actually in the same race as him when I was in cycling in Ohio, and when he was the world champion and Tour de France winner in the same year. This is back in the 80s. But anyway, what he did with his career was redefine what American cyclists could be. And so anyway, that's a whole other topic. But early on in my life, it helped me set goals, but that guy Greg LeMond is a champion.
That's good. So you got influence outside of art, inside of art.
I guess I should sign this.
Do you have like a certain place where you sign?
Well, usually to the right.
Usually to the right. Look at this masterpiece, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me all the information you did, and again for this masterpiece.
Wow, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
the pleasure's mine.
At Nicholas Children's, we're redefining pediatric care with innovation and expertise. We're proud to be Florida's top children's hospital for orthopedic care, performing more pediatric spine surgeries than any other hospital in the state. At Nicholas Children's, we don't just lead, we deliver life-changing results with one child in mind, yours. Nicholas Children's Orthopedic Sports Medicine and Spine Institute, where your child matters most.
An emblem of hope and inspiration in our region for more than 7 decades, Nicholas Children's is South Florida's only licensed hospital exclusively for children. A global healthcare destination with pediatric specialty programs routinely ranked among the best in the nation. Nicholas Children's Hospital continues to raise the bar for amazing patient care, pushing boundaries to find cures and save lives through medical innovation. The Kenneth C. Griffin Surgical Tower, a 5-story, 133,000 square foot facility, is designed with the patient experience in mind, offering state-of-the-art surgical care in a family-friendly environment. We are a symbol of compassionate care within our community and beyond, and we are proud to make a difference in the lives of children from around the world, in generations gone by, today, and for generations to come. A world-class pediatric leader offering treatments for the most complex conditions, as well as peace of mind for busy parents at outpatient locations throughout South Florida. Nicholas Children's is where your child matters most. Visit us or connect with us on social to learn more.
Today we're at Nicholas Children's Hospital celebrating and redefining disability with doctors, clinicians, patients, family members, and at large the community. My personal mission with cerebral palsy is to rewrite the story, shed light that we do have a future in disability. For a long time we've let too many people write our story, and I think it's important to be our own narrators, to redefine disability, to create equity, representation, advocacy, and justice.
Today we're celebrating the first family events for kids with cerebral palsy and neuromotor conditions. This event is very important for our families to be able to participate and feel they have a community, that they could come to our hospital and not only get the medical care and the surgical care that they need, but that they could also meet other families that have lived in their same shoes. They could get to know each other and connect and be able to help each other out. March is CP Awareness Month, so we did the event in March in order to raise awareness in the community so that people can understand that just because a child has a wheelchair, has a motor disability, doesn't mean that they cannot be included in normal activities and be included in the community.
What I want to tell you all today is that you're all going to be okay. All of your kids are going to be okay. And I think the amazing work that you've brought in here, from creating community and having the right people put in place to represent us and the proper care, is so imperative and it's so important, and we're here to redefine disability. Having disabilities is normal, but you have to believe in yourself and you have to steer clear and make sure that anybody that comes in your way to tell you otherwise, girl, bye.
I squeezed my husband's hand because I just at that point, like there was a moment I just knew something was really wrong because the room just got more serious.
It was probably April of 2022. We had a routine doctor's visit and she's going over everything and said everything looks great, but you know, there's a couple more pictures we couldn't get. So I want to send you to a specialist. Dr. Garmani came in to kind of get more detailed pictures, and then she left the room, and probably about 10 minutes later she walked back in and sat us down and said, I need to let you know that your son has TGA, it's a heart condition, and I think, kind of the wind was sucked out of the room at that point. We didn't really know what to think, and he's going to need surgery.
The prenatal heart program at Nicholas Children's cares for expectant families that are referred, either have an increased risk of congenital heart disease or are suspected of having some heart issue in their unborn child. We cater this program, and it's available in all counties of Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, and Martin County. It's devastating news when they hear the fact that there might be something wrong with their unborn child. The goal of the program is to support these families with prompt diagnostic evaluation and caring for them through the pregnancy and delivery.
Jack's family came in with a prenatal diagnosis of complicated congenital heart defect, transposition of the great arteries, which is a mouthful, but basically it means that the aorta is connected to the wrong ventricle and the pulmonary arteries are connected to the wrong ventricle. And our surgical team has to basically take his heart apart and put it back together again.
I was so happy he could have surgery, but then, oh, my kid has to have open heart surgery. So it was like I was relieved because without the open heart surgery he couldn't survive, but then of course I had to send my 5-day-old baby in for open heart surgery. And I remember Dr. Burt came out and said, it's done, he did wonderful, his heart is repaired. And it was just like overwhelming sense of relief. I think I cried, my husband cried, and it was really like a beautiful moment. Without Nicholas Children's, I don't think my son would be here, and I'm forever grateful for everything this hospital is and everything they've done for our family.
I'm just so grateful because I didn't know that this day would come, that she wouldn't have me. But I'm so happy that she can be everything that she wants to be, and she doesn't have the restrictions anymore, and she can live her life the way she intends to. Naomi is a twin. She is the life of the party. Naomi suffers from asthma, and as a child she had surgery. So she had an x-ray done. The x-ray technician's like, oh, do you know your daughter has scoliosis? You should really take her to see someone. So we did. We were trying to do everything we could. We tried bracing, chiropractic care. The last thing we tried was a scoliosis boot camp.
Approximately 3% of the population have scoliosis, but the vast majority of those people don't require any sort of treatment. There are many different types of scoliosis, but this particular type, the type that Naomi has, is called adolescent idiopathic scoliosis. The spine is not only curved side to side, but it also has a rotational curve to it, and it looks sort of like this, where we see not only is there a side-to-side curve if we look, but there's actually a corkscrewing, a rotational aspect to it.
Initially going into surgery, with Naomi had a moment where she's like, I don't want to do this. And this was in pre-op. And she started to cry, and we all started to cry. But when you're a parent and your child has to undergo anything that even may be painful, I would switch places with her. Her dad would switch places with her if we could. But we knew that it had to be done.
I remember I was crying, and I think it was Nicole. I was like, she was the last face I saw, and it was like comforting. Like, I was like, but it was like, I felt safe.
The treatment of severe or progressive scoliosis really does change according to the patient and their age and their growth potential, and the type of curve and the nuances of the curve. In this situation, what we do is we use a combination of screws and rods in the spine to actually help us correct the deformity and prevent it from ever getting worse again.
Even though it's scary, surgery, like, it's worth it. It's worth it to get it because it's like, it's gonna change everything. Like, my asthma is like not as bad. I used to be in the hospital like every year. And like, I haven't gone to the hospital in a long time, like, because I've expanded like my airways and stuff, so.
I'm hopeful because I know that she can do whatever activity now that she would like and be pain-free. She doesn't have pain now, and before she was even accommodating with her walking because her spine was not aligned. And I mean, you see the difference. You see the difference. She's not complaining of pain. And I just hope that she does whatever she wants to do and accomplishes her dream. She's gonna be big. Naomi's gonna be big.
At Nicholas Children's Hospital, research isn't just about discovery. It's about giving children a healthier future. Through clinical trials, we are able to provide new treatment options, improve existing therapies, and explore innovative ways to diagnose and care for our patients.
Every trial brings us closer to breakthroughs that change children's lives. Whether it's a new gene therapy, medication, medical device, or just a novel approach to treatment, we are advancing the options in pediatric care.
Clinical research nurses are vital to the success of clinical trials. We make it possible so that the different components can work smoothly together and create the connection between patients, their family, and the multidisciplinary care team. We provide the highest level of care to children while enhancing their treatment options so that they can have the best possible outcome.
Children are not just small adults. They need therapy specifically designed for their growing bodies. Pediatric research focuses on adjusting adult-approved doses and developing therapies tailored for children, not only to be both safe and effective, but to be appropriate for every stage of their development.
Families trust us to guide them through the clinical trials process. We coordinate visits, maintain documentation to make sure that every trial follows strict safety and ethical guidelines.
So clinical research must meet very rigorous standards. All of our research here at Nicholas Children's must comply with federal, state, and local regulations in order to protect our young patients.
Clinical trials at Nicholas Children's aren't just about science. They're about hope. They're about progress. They're about changing lives one discovery at a time. Because every breakthrough starts with research.
Thank you so much to Adam and Shannon Carlin for this incredible event. Our 10th annual Carlin Family Prom with Nicholas Children's Hospital is such an exciting event for us. We're so thrilled for this evening that gives these kids the opportunity to go through this rite of passage for teenagers, their own prom that is safe and accessible and all the things we want them to have as they have this incredible evening.
This is something that is so important for these young people because they're getting the best of care at Nicholas Children's, but you want them to be able to have an experience and have a night where they could just be kids and not think about what they're going through and enjoy themselves and forget about whatever it is that they face on a day-to-day basis.
Part of tonight is making this night not just fun, but safe for all the teenagers here. My wish is that it feels to them like a regular prom, that they can have fun, relax, and just be kids.
The Macy's shopping was very nice. The stylist was very nice, and she was very helpful because I didn't know what to get at first, but she was showing me all these ties, these bow ties, shirts, pants, shoes. She was just very helpful, and I'm very happy. Being here with my family is just a very nice thing to have because they've been supporting me when I was in the hospital, and so it's very nice to have the support that I have with my family, and it's just nice.
What I look forward to the most tonight is dancing. I get to be here with my friends and my family, and it's just gonna be a fun experience because we all get to dance, you know, break a sweat, have fun, just enjoy the night, get the night away.
One of the best parts of this event is that the parents get to get in on the fun as well. And so right down the hall, all of the parents get to have their own dinner, but there are screens where they can watch their kids smiling and dancing and feel their own part of this enchanted forest. It's something so special that as a parent myself, I just feel so much joy that these parents get to experience.
And I want to thank the Carlin family for this amazing experience, and I hope it continues.
I hope that all of the 140 teens who are here tonight have the most enchanted evening in this enchanted forest, and that they have a night that they remember for the rest of their lives. These children have gone through so much, more than most of us could ever imagine, and I just want so much for them to be here and enjoy themselves and be children for a night. It fills my heart so much.
We have been in the early development stages for a few months now. The goal of the program is to use immersive technology, so like a fully virtual immersive experience to help neurodivergent young adults and kids to reduce their anxiety when it comes to driving.
And Nicholas approached us with this incredible project and wanted to know how we can use our specialty in autism to best teach these driving skills to individuals on the spectrum or to non-traditional learners.
The VR Motion technology is a driving simulator that uses a VR headset, and it is used to simulate driving situation, many different driving situations for special learners. So when they go out in the field to take the actual permit test or driving test, they'll be more comfortable because they've already been through that in the VR simulator. So that's the goal, so they can get their permits, they become more independent and drive wherever they would like to.
I am so excited for this project because it is the first of its kind. Nothing like this has ever been created or tested out before. It encompasses virtual reality, behavior analysis, driving expertise all in one. And I think with non-traditional learners or individuals on the spectrum, they'll be able to go through this program and just have so much freedom, so much independence, and an overall better quality of life.
Hi, good morning. I'm Clary. I'm the nurse assistant. Hi, Jacob. How are you today?
In minor procedure suites, approximately 34% of our population has some type of special needs. This can be in the autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, or some type of communication disorder.
You know what is this? Yeah. All right. Would you like to try for us? Yeah. Okay.
If the kids are nervous, could you imagine the parents, how they're feeling? So what we're trying to do is assisting them, and now we're providing them with this Oculus that is helping us a lot because it's not just, providing them an iPad, it's a virtual reality.
So now having this virtual reality platform and parents seeing how the child is responding to it has really been a game changer, not only for our parents and patients, but for the staff. Initially, some of the staff member was concerned about how we were going to launch it, but I was fortunate to really partner up with Clara and some of the nurses that are really seeing the difference now. It was a great experience. Once they saw that we were able to provide this diversion tool, and they saw the patients utilizing it, and they saw how calm everyone was, it was an easy sell for the rest of the team to get on board.
All right, everything is set, okay? I'm gonna put this real, okay? Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much.
We let the patient have this tool throughout the whole experience. We place it in the pre-op area as we're waiting for their procedure to begin. As we have the Oculus on, once we start moving the patient, we keep them informed throughout the whole process. You're gonna feel a movement, and we bring them all the way back here with the parent at the bedside and into the induction phase with anesthesia.
We coming into the suite with the kids, entertained with the Oculus, and we keep the Oculus until here. Here anesthesia, it's putting the mask on him, and that's it. Sweet dreams.
So the success that we've seen so far with this program really has ignited conversations throughout the organization on how else we can really apply this. I'm fortunate to share an office with the pain specialist nurse of the hospital. When she heard that we were using it, she too was super excited about it. She mentioned how this could be used for chronic pain management. She mentioned how there's an opportunity to use this in the hematology oncology section in the bone marrow transplant unit. These patients are experiencing isolation, they're having pain, and this diversion activity can really be applied to help these population as well.